Blame Truth here, and we are seeing the demise of the franchise. This is another part in the ongoing saga that is Activision Blizzard losing their fucking minds. Before I get into the meat and potatoes, though, I've been following so much AI stuff. If you guys want to see me do a video talking about this, because it's getting insane, and it's one of the reasons I'm having trouble actually making content, pumping out content like I usually do, because everywhere I turn, I am smothered, visually assaulted by AI bullshit everywhere. I'm sure you guys have seen what it's done to the RAM prices and how it's affecting RAM in smartphones and laptops and stuff like that for the future. But I'm literally being harassed by this stuff. I tried to Google, look at the irony here. I tried to Google a site that wasn't like Instagram, where I could maybe post images that wouldn't get crawled and harvested data-wise to feed Mark Zuckerberg, the pumpkin pie haircutted freaks AI wet dream, and it gave me an AI synopsis on Google of this Reddit thread, and I can't turn it off. Like, okay, but it gets worse. On Facebook, I hop on there just to network for shelter pets and whatnot, or lost pets in my area. And I get on there just to see if there's any lost pets in my area that I can keep a lookout for, just to help people out, because I find no other use for social media really except keeping up with like people you know. But I get on there and I read this story, and the image looks genuine and the story seems genuine, but something just seems a little off about it. It's very, very, like, I don't even know. I got a weird feeling about it. I click the page to see that it's AI slop. The whole thing is completely fucking made up. Like, it's genuinely depressing. I can't even look at news or stories. I can't trust anything on the fucking internet. And it's bullshit. And I'm sorry for yelling already, but God, like, imagine depending on the internet for what I do here on this channel, and all of this crap just comes together for the perfect storm of diarrhea. Like, daily. I can't get away from it. There is nothing I can do to get away from it. I cannot opt out. I have no option. It is forced upon me. We need to do something about it, for the love of God. Dude, this stuff is either going to destroy civilization in the next 5 years, or we're going to see a pushback the likes we have never seen. I'm hoping it's the latter, because the former is going to be some George Orwell Black Mirror Twilight Zone episode come to life. And I don't want to see that. But if you guys want to see me cover that stuff, let me know. I mentioned it briefly in another video of mine, but yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of Call of Duty news to cover, a lot of Activision Blizzard news to cover. They are going after leakers, and the leakers are going scorched earth on them, and it's insane. It's just absolute insanity. So without further ado, let's get right on into the meat and potatoes here, because viewer, I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So first things first, the data. The data. They love to reference the data until the data shows that they are failures. Isn't that funny? It's so funny, man. I can't get enough of it. But no, the data has finally come out about Black Ops 7's sales, and it's as bad as we thought it was, if not worse. Battlefield 6 is the best-selling game of the year, but Call of Duty's not number 2, it's not number 3, it's not number 4, it's not number 5, it's not even number 6. It is lucky number 7 for Black Ops 7, and for whatever reason, like, Black Ops 6 almost sold as much as Black Ops 7, which I find hilarious, because in my humble opinion, that is the worst game I've ever played. I would rather teabag a live bear trap than ever boot up Black Ops 6 again. I would rather pick fly shit out of ground pepper while wearing boxing gloves than ever boot up Black Ops 6 again. I would rather enter a swimming competition covered in steak drippings in a pool of very hungry piranhas against Michael Phelps, and if I lose, I have to punch a cactus with my dick. I'd rather do all that than play Black Ops 6, and yet somehow it's still selling. It's funny because Black Ops 7 is a better game than Black Ops 6. I think that goes without saying, but that's really not saying much. I mean, my Tiger Electronic game of Street Fighter I had back in like 1995 was a better game than Black Ops 6. Yeah, I actually had that shit. It was terrible. But regardless, if you're wondering why Call of Duty, Activision, Blizzard are being so nice and swearing they're gonna change, this is why. If you think it's bad now with Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders coming out and stealing the thunder from Call of Duty, then just wait until GTA 6 drops. Call of Duty may not even make the top 10. Battlefield 6 sold really well, but its retention hasn't been great at all, I'll be honest with you. In fact, I actually haven't played it for the past 2 weeks. Not that Battlefield 6 is a bad game, I still enjoy it, but it goes back to what I said initially when I first reviewed it. I'm like, there needs to be some progression there. There's no prestige mode, there's no in-game item to like grind for, there's just some basic challenges there. It's just not up to snuff. I'm sorry. It's the same kind of issue that X-Defiant had that Call of Duty has no problems with, but at the same time, Call of Duty continues to lose players too, but because the game sucks. But Battlefield 6, I think, is overall good. People seem to like it, but there's still a lot of issues with it, like with progression and lack of a server browser. I mean, I'm just going to say this. These billion-dollar companies, these trillion-dollar companies need to lock down the progression. They need to study Fortnite or something. But you know what? This is on PC only, Steam only, so I don't know. Maybe console's different. I mean, I know for a fact console's different. Battlefield 6 is in the number 6 spot still. Call of Duty's in the number 2 spot, despite selling like dog shit. So people are either playing the free-to-play stuff with RedSec a lot, or I don't know, Warzone. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Regardless, though, let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this video, which is Infinity Ward and Activision Blizzard and Sledgehammer Games and all of these people using their favorite puppet, Charlie Intel. They love sticking their hands straight up his asshole, no lube, and just having him mouth whatever off that could be a complete lie, but he trusts them, which probably means he's getting paid 6 figures to tweet this stuff out, let's be honest. Regardless, they are all but attacking Ghost of Hope, and Ghost of Hope went absolutely nuclear on these guys. Let me just cover all of this stuff, okay? So let me preface this news by this little factoid that came out about 5 hours ago. Charlie Intel says Call of Duty franchise experienced a double-digit percentage full game dollars sales decline when compared to November 2024 in the US, per Circana, comparing Black Ops 7 launch to Black Ops 6. This is very important to see why they are doing what I'm going to show you here. If you guys have seen any movie ever about some powerful figure that will start losing their mind as they grow more and more powerful and they get more and more paranoid, they lose their sense of self, they start losing either their wealth or the people around them that care about them, and they go insane. I can name Citizen Kane, I can name Scarface, I can name The Wolf of Wall Street. Hell, I can name this movie that maybe you haven't heard about called A Face in the Crowd with Andy Griffith, of all people. That's a really good one. But all of these movies, all of these stories are essentially the same. Someone gets too big for their fucking britches, and they lose their mind, they lose their wealth, they lose it all. They get to the top of the mountain, and then they fall all the way back down. It's a tale as old as time, and I truly believe that is happening to Activision Blizzard and the heads of Call of Duty, because they're just desperate. They're losing it, and they are scrambling, and it's so good to see because I called it all, and it's finally happening. But keep this in mind here when I show you what I'm going to show you. As you guys know, Ghost of Hope leaked out through very reputable sources that Modern Warfare 4 is just basically Modern Warfare 2 2022 Electric Boogaloo 2.0. That's all it is. And he tweeted a lot about it, and I covered it in my last video. But Infinity Ward actually responded here. And a little later on, Charlie Intel is going to respond to some stuff that Ghost of Hope said after this, which is just, I don't know, man. It's comical what this guy is doing for the billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company. Either way, Infinity Ward had this to say, and I'm sure you've seen it by now. Happy holidays, everybody. Wishing our community an awesome holiday season and looking forward to talking soon. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. See you in 2026. All but saying Ghost of Hope is a liar. They have never done this before. And the funniest thing about this tweet that shows it wasn't thought through very well, these morons said, don't believe everything you read on the internet, and then posted that on the internet. Okay, I'm not going to believe you, Infinity Ward. Next time, deliver your message via carrier pigeon. And Ghost of Hope did not take this lying down. And it's absolutely hilarious how fucking pissed he gets here. Check this out, guys. Just going to address this because it seems like the perfect time to do so. I've been leaking Call of Duty for years, and anybody who has followed me for a long time knows that. I have leaked a ton of things about Vanguard, MW2, MW3, BO6, BO7 before anybody else. Have I gotten some things wrong in the past? Sure, no doubt about it, and I will own that. But the idea that I make shit up or that I do this with hate in my heart, like some people in the replies like to imply, is not true at all. The fact that a billion-dollar studio has gone out of its way to generically deny two of my most recent leaks when they've never done it before, nor towards others, is frankly very weird and should raise some red flags about why they do such a thing when they never did it before. I have largely kept the same sources for years, and my MW4 leak is no different to that. I would never sink my reputation with COD leaking that I've built over the years on faulty, unverified info. And I'm going to go to bat for Ghost of Hope here, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you what kind of person he is. A few years ago, I was very rude to him and shitty to him over Twitter, over a Twitter exchange. I shouldn't have done that. I reached out through a DM and apologized, and he forgave me like it was nothing. And then not only that, he actually DM'd me a personal leak that he didn't post publicly, just for me, basically, talking about Black Ops 7. And he called the entire game essentially a year before it came out. And he got everything right. That just shows what kind of person he is. I think he's an upstanding guy. I really do. And, I was in the wrong. He didn't have to forgive me, and he damn sure didn't have to, give me that info privately because he was pissed off that they were withholding all that content and all those changes for Black Ops 6 to just sell you next year with Black Ops 7. And that's why he revealed that to me. So he is a very trustworthy person, upstanding person, in my humble opinion. Got nothing bad to say about the guy. And he is absolutely right here. Why is the billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company trying to shut down his leaks? A few years ago, when he would tweet out these leaks, it was radio silence. I mean, it's been radio silence up until just recently. Let's be honest. They don't communicate, and they treated us like garbage. As soon as they get their way again, they're going to default back to that. But Ghost of Hope had more to say, roasting Infinity Ward and showing that they're liars. I mean, again, if I gotta pick somebody to trust, it's not gonna be Infinity Ward, and it's not gonna be Activision Blizzard or anyone associated with them because, I don't know, they're all scumbags in my humble opinion. But let's take a look at what Ghost of Hope clapped back with here. Where was the don't believe everything you read on the internet for this? Or is it only worth denying rumors when it's bad press? Yeah, he leaked this back in June 4th or whatever, where he talked about Modern Warfare 4. Turns out, yeah, the game's called Modern Warfare 4. He called it several months before any other rumors came out about it. So again, pretty trustworthy there. But it gets worse. He dug up a video from Infinity Ward. You guys got to see this. Good Lord, it is pathetic.
There is so much. This game has just so much content. It's got something for everyone, and it's really been the result of 3 years of hard work at IW and our partners across all of the Activision studios. And so much of that work started with you guys at home, the community, the fans, our creators here, and that conversation and feedback from 2019 has really been a core piece of what Modern Warfare 2 is.
As you guys know, they did not listen to any feedback whatsoever we gave them for Modern Warfare 2019 and proceeded to shit out, for the time, the universally agreed upon, the worst Call of Duty yet. It sold really well, but had some of the worst retention in the entire series because the game sucked ass. It was also pretty devoid of content. It was very bare bones and felt unfinished, as Infinity Ward games usually feel, honestly. But Ghost of Hope, not deterred, came out with a new leak about the next game coming after Modern Warfare 4, and he had this to say. Exclusive COD 2027, made by Sledgehammer Games, will be a new sub-franchise with completely new characters set in the late 90s, early 2000s. Omni movement with no tac sprint is currently planned for the game. Pick 10 returning is a big discussion happening. Zombies currently still not planned to return. Get High returns, still unclear if it's the third mode. Pretty big news there. Sledgehammer is like the only dev that the community does not hate. So what do they decide to do with this? What do they decide to do about this relatively good news here? Well, Charlie Intel decided to tweet out his classic Activision puppet response. You know, the company that ties his lower intestines into balloon animals every time they stick their slimy hands up his asshole and proceed to do a little ventriloquist act. I mean, why are they going through him? I just don't understand it. I know why they're going through him. It's so that they're not liable with their outright lies. You know, they won't be held liable for just outright bullshitting us, basically. He will be held liable. Regardless, take a look at what Charlie Intel had to say directly from Activision Blizzard. We have heard that Sledgehammer Games' 2027 Call of Duty title does not take place during the late 90s or early 2000s, despite some rumors today. Per the latest reports, it's a new sub-franchise set in the modern era. Yeah, they're just effectively debunking Ghost of Hope's shit again. Why? I have no idea. Why have they never done this before? And why are they starting now? It makes no sense whatsoever. Leave a comment and let me know what they are actually trying to accomplish here. Are they just trying to accomplish, like, discrediting him or something like that? Are they changing things just based on what he leaks just to fuck with them? Are they giving false information to his sources? I don't understand. I genuinely don't get it. Ghost of Hope went on to tweet this, by the way. Just a "this is fine" tweet after that. And then Doug says, if we post enough leaks and COD debunks them all, we can technically figure out the entire game by process of elimination. Let's get those Twitter fingers working overtime, gentlemen. And Hope says, real shit. Again, man, why don't they just talk about this stuff openly if they're just going to debunk the leaker? Like, why don't they beat the leaker to the punch? And by the way, Ghost of Hope called this, and it's right, they're bringing Fallout to Call of Duty. So he called that before it happened, and it happened. It's not even like Fallout the game, though. It's Fallout the show, which is kind of lame if I'm being honest, but whatever, dude. And if any of you are excited for Modern Warfare 4, Nero posted this, and he tallied up a ton of things that Infinity Ward has done wrong. Not even all of the things. Infinity Ward are the reason SBMM, as we know it, is in the game still to this fucking day. But Nero tweeted this out, and again, let's really say it out loud and let it stew in our brains so we don't get excited for Modern Warfare 4, okay? Help me out here. I'm trying to think of every terrible thing the modern Infinity Ward team is responsible for. Tac sprint, SATCOMs over UAVs, no minimap red dots, no dead silence perk, doors, charging perks, seasonal system over prestige, SBMM, safe space map design, ruining shipment 2013 plus 2019, disbanding lobbies, Warzone and Warzone features leaking into other modes, fastest TTK of main studios, Hulu UI, removing nameplates, holding back MW3 by shutting down SHG's ideas, the entire Ghost's prestige system, insane visual recoil, attachment tuning, downsides to attachments, slower ADS on red dot sites, for instance, hell, Gunsmith in general, night vision maps. There's gotta be more, but that's what I came up with in a few minutes. Guys, I'm serious here. After this super disappointing release, after this horrendous year, this might be the worst year for Call of Duty ever. I think it actually is one of the worst selling, if not the worst selling Call of Duty ever. Nero predicted that it actually is probably selling less than Black Ops 6 somehow. I just, like as of this month, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. But after the mediocrity of this year, Modern Warfare 4 is going to bomb. I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it. I wish Sledgehammer the best of luck, but the series might get canned. If you guys recall, they nearly canned Warzone 2 because of Infinity Ward's terrible decisions. That was actually a thing that happened because the game was just on a downward trend. It was on a downslide. They fixed it with Verdansk and stuff, but my God, man, what a disaster of a studio. I hope you guys enjoyed. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you on the next one. Ring that notification bell if you're a real one. Peace.